Join us as we search Alaska and beyond for mysterious creatures, featuring Beans Baxter and Rob Roy Menzies. This is the Alaska Bigfoot Studies. Greetings from Alaska. It's Chuke here with High Strangeness in Alaska and the Alaska Bigfoot Studies. Well, by now I will already be on my way overseas. So next Sunday I will have a special report for you guys talking about Bigfoot sightings worldwide. But as of now, I wanted to talk a couple points about these drones because they're back in the news. They have returned, started out in Ohio, went to the East Coast, and now they're back in New Jersey, and really they're back everywhere. We're getting reports of drones everywhere. But I do have a question for everyone. My plan was to shoot one of my cheap Chinese drones down with my Benelli M4. It's interesting because Benelli M4s were given to some forces in Ukraine to take out drones along with a couple other weapons, but it would be a perfect weapon to do it. But then my buddy said, no, don't do it. That would break federal law. And I said, well, I will be in a place where it's legal to shoot firearms. But then I looked up the rule. There is a federal rule saying you cannot fire a firearm at an aircraft, and they do designate drones as aircraft, even if it's only this big. So technically, I don't think that that's something they would prosecute me for, but if they wanted to, it could be a federal crime to shoot at a drone, even if it's your own. So if there's anybody out there that can clarify that, please let me know. Drones are just, it's changed everything. From the war in Ukraine, we have seen these drone pilots and the FPV videos of, you know, the intelligence gathering and the actual attacking of troops. It has changed modern warfare completely. It's turned it upside down, and now conventional troops are all just armed with these drones on both sides, and they're just doing massive amounts of damage with them and getting massive amounts of information. Now, on top of that, we have the drones showing up on the East Coast, and it's just so confusing because the UAPs are different. What we now call UFOs, and now just recently in the news, I saw that one lawmaker talk about, even they're calling them UAPs just because there's the USOs that are the UFOs going underwater. They're being reported by military personnel to be the size of an aircraft carrier, going something ridiculous, you know, 100 knots under the water. And it's like the water isn't even there. They're bending gravity and they're just cruising, doing whatever they want, basically. So these UAPs, I think of them as like the Tic Tac from the Nimitz encounter that was released in 2017. I think it happened in 2004. But these things were going from 80,000 feet, you know, up in the upper atmosphere down to above the ocean in just a couple seconds, you know, doing turns and pulling G's that no human could manage, and just playing games with these jet fighters. Just incredible. Now, these things were staying up there for days. No drone has a battery that can, and they're not drones. They're obviously using some kind of gravitational field to fly around. But then these drones that they started filming in New Jersey were conventional drones because they had the flashing lights. I know Rob Roy Menzies pointed out, he used to work for the FFA, that you have to have these blinking lights to, you know, stay in code. So that is really confusing. And some of them were reported, you know, to be up for hours going out in the ocean on the East Coast, and some of them reported being the size of an SUV. Now, shout out to White Bread Thunder. He messaged me a couple weeks ago. He commented on a video, and he's like, if you're out and about in Alaska, look up in the sky today. I looked up, you know, 15 minutes after he said that, and there was a helicopter going right above the tree line super fast. I've seen all kinds of drones. I always try to get the phone out and then I just miss it and it goes behind the tree. Some of them look really big. I'm sure some of them are airplanes, but it is insane. Look up in the sky. There is just so much going on. We've got so many satellites. People are flying drones. it's just amazing. I have filmed some UAPs myself that I thought were pretty compelling, but this is a recent article from defensecoop.com, and it says the NDAA directs Pentagon's UAP office to team with new counter-drone task force. So it is even talking about Arrow, which is the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. So that was the one, Luis Arizano was involved with. And, we have these whistleblowers talking about this is the full-on UFO UAP program. Now they want to mix all this drone stuff in with them. Because they just don't know what's going on. Now, there's a lot of theories that they're sniffing out nukes, China's sending them from submarines. Some of that, that it might be true. I tend to think that they are ours, because if they were China's coming over from submarines, I think they would have done a lot more. It would be horrible if they didn't, but I think that there's some departments that may not be talking with other departments, and they're flying them around. They came back. Now they're in New Jersey flying around. So this is a really interesting article, and it does talk about the transmedium objects because they can go from space to the air and the atmosphere to underwater. It's a growing threat in the United States and abroad, and there's just all these sightings, and so now they're asking for enactment of legislation to partner this drone task force with the UAP task force. So it's kind of confusing, but I take a lot of this with a grain of salt. They say we're in the age of disclosure, but they're just feeding us bits. We got these whistleblowers saying, yes, we have recovered extraterrestrial technology. We're reverse engineering them. We've actually captured alien bodies and live aliens. And, they're saying this under oath. And then the Pentagon, kind of hinted at, yes, there are some, extraterrestrial tech, but then they put out official reports saying, no, we've never reversed engineered anything. There's no indication these are extraterrestrial vehicles. So it is just confusing. They're playing this cat and mouse game, but I think there are some people out there that are trying to get to the bottom of it. We're going to continue to report on it and do investigations. So having a lot of fun with this. I will see you guys next Sunday with my Bigfoot report from abroad. Thanks for tuning in, guys.